more besides Kody and Robyn have been living monogamy since 2020. I feel like it was longer than that.
Because that won't matter when I'm getting nagged.
Okay, marriage isn't just about getting nagged.
For me,
you're right, you could get nagged, but usually the nagging comes if you're not helping.
Wild.
Okay.
Wild.
So they have officially decided they're not going to live polygamy. Great. Done. Move it along. Can we just end that arc now instead of bringing it up every episode?
But, like, no one believes it. Do you believe it? I don't believe it.
That's because Dad is a hard no and Robyn is a hard yes.
She thought she would still do it.
Yes. Neither one of them is willing to concede that at the end of the day, it didn't work out. And it probably didn't work out for the best because soulmates don't work in polygamy.
Kody doesn't buy into that belief anymore. In fact, he and Robyn have been essentially living as a monogamous couple ever since around 2020, though honestly, it feels like that shift started even earlier than that. He brushes off concerns with comments like, "That won't matter when I'm getting nagged," as if marriage itself is reduced to constant complaints. But the truth is, marriage is not supposed to be just nagging and disagreements. Usually, frustrations build when one partner feels the other isn't stepping up, when the balance isn't there. That's when the tension rises, and that's when we start hearing those digs. It's wild, just wild, how they officially declared that polygamy was no longer going to be part of their lives. Done. Over. End of story. So why is the show dragging the storyline out episode after episode? Can we just close that chapter already instead of endlessly recycling it? But here's the twist. Hardly anyone actually believes them. Do you believe them? I don't. That's because we've got a major standoff. Kody is a hard no, while Robyn is still a passionate yes. She's still clinging to that dream of plural marriage. Neither one of them is willing to truly meet in the middle. At the heart of it, this entire situation highlights something deeper, that soulmates, at least in Kody and Robyn's case, don't really work in a polygamous setup. Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into Kody and Robyn's ongoing saga about whether or not they'll ever add another wife. Is this just a manufactured storyline to keep the show alive, or is it a genuine issue between them? And why does it keep coming up over and over again? Well, Mykelti, Kody's daughter with Christine, actually gave her thoughts on this during a Patreon livestream, where she went into surprising detail about why this topic won't go away. On one hand, it's simple. Sister Wives is a reality TV show. Storylines have to exist to keep viewers invested, and talking about adding a new wife creates drama, tension, and of course, content. On the other hand, Mykelti revealed that this isn't just a storyline, it's a very real issue inside Kody and Robyn's marriage. According to her, their relationship is fragile, and that fragility stems from the fact that they want completely different things out of life together. Kody continually forces Robyn to compromise by abandoning her dream of adding another wife. He demands obedience, refuses to budge, and has made it clear that in his eyes, polygamy is dead and gone. Tony, Mykelti's husband, isn't so sure. He questions whether Kody is really finished with polygamy or if there's still a possibility, but even he admits the signs point to Kody being done. Still, he and Mykelti agree on one big point. Despite everything, despite not wanting to live polygamy in practice, despite the chaos and jealousy she's witnessed, Robyn still clings to the belief that she should live plural marriage. Which, let's be real, is confusing. She grew up in a family where her own mother and her mom's sister wife couldn't stand each other. She's seen firsthand how toxic it can get. And yet, she still insists this is her path. But here's where the hypocrisy comes in. Robyn isn't even part of a church right now. If she really believed polygamy was central to her faith, she wouldn't have stayed tied to Kody when the other wives walked away. She could have gone back into her faith community and found a polygamous husband. The fact that she didn't do that raises the question, does she truly believe in the principle of polygamy, or is this more about her identity and the image she wants to project? Deep down, she knows she wouldn't have chosen Kody in the first place if he hadn't been a polygamist when they met. Which makes it painfully clear she isn't the soulmate Kody has convinced himself she is. The irony? Robyn still holds on to this dream of sister wives, of living polygamy, of sharing her life with a bigger family. But Kody can't and won't give her that dream. That gap between her desires and his finality will always create tension. She's faced with two options. Let that dream die and accept what she has with Kody, or keep living with that internal disappointment. And that's sad, because as much as their relationship can feel cringy to watch, they clearly do love each other. They laugh, they share genuine moments, they're bonded. You'd think she would treasure that for what it is, instead of constantly yearning for something else. I don't get it. Why cling so tightly to this fantasy of polygamy? Why hold on like it's some magical life? To me, it doesn't seem glamorous. Sharing a husband, juggling jealousy, constant tension, it doesn't sound like a dream at all. Especially when you consider her own upbringing. Robyn's two moms didn't get along. They tolerated each other for the family's sake, but underneath, there was no real harmony. So if that's her lived experience, why is she so determined to repeat it? And yet, when Tony and Mykelti explain it, it almost makes sense. From the inside, polygamy is tied to spiritual promises. Women are told that even if they struggle on earth, sharing, enduring jealousy, suffering, that sacrifice will pay off in heaven. They'll receive eternal blessings, spiritual rewards, higher glory. So even when Robyn manipulated, controlled, or bristled at the idea of sharing Kody, she still believed the suffering was part of the package. Endure now, be rewarded later. That's what the church teaches. This is why Kody once asked her, "Are we just enduring this relationship, or do we actually have something special?" And Robyn answered that yes, they do have something special. But here's the kicker. Her idea of something special isn't necessarily about Kody. Her special is the image she crafted, being the successful, admired face of polygamy. She wanted the spotlight, the money, the fame, the validation that she could be the queen of plural marriage, not just another struggling wife like so many of her peers. She wanted to prove that polygamy could be glamorous, prosperous, enviable. And that's why she chose Kody's family. It wasn't about him being her soulmate. It was about the opportunity he provided, the platform, the fame, the role. Kody, however, feels something entirely different for Robyn. His attachment is emotional and personal. Hers, as much as she may not admit it, has always been tied to the image and power that came with being the centerpiece of the sister wives family. For Kody, Robyn is more than just a partner. She's his prize, his trophy wife, the living embodiment of the image he always wanted to project. To him, she's the polished, glamorous diesel jeans model type, the pinnacle of desirability in his world. That's also why he never stops bringing up the fact that Robyn had options. Other men wanted her, other men proposed to her. This isn't just a bragging point for Kody, it's part of how Robyn sold herself to him from the very beginning. And honestly, it was true. In their faith community, if a man discovered a woman was single and open to plural marriage, she could receive 10 proposals in a single day. That's how desperate men were to add wives. Robyn had the upper hand. She had choices, and ultimately, she chose Kody. Why? Because she believed in his potential, in his ability to give her the life she wanted. Now, the real conflict between them has very little to do with romance and everything to do with expectations. Kody is now trying to bend Robyn into accepting monogamy. For a long time, she was okay with his version of plural marriage. Even when other wives were cast aside, even when relationships crumbled, she still saw herself as living polygamy as long as there were other women technically around. That illusion of a plural household kept her satisfied. But with all the other wives gone, Robyn can no longer hold on to that version of her dream. She has Kody to herself, but it came at the cost of losing the very thing she believed she signed up for. She's left feeling cheated, realizing she's not getting what she thought she bargained for. And that's the heart of the issue. Robyn believed marrying Kody would guarantee her dream, but now the reality is hitting her hard. With Kody, it's not about what she wants. It's about what he wants. And Mykelti has even said she doubts Robyn can hold on to this marriage long-term if she doesn't let go of her expectations. Because Kody isn't going to bend. He's not going to suddenly add another wife just because Robyn keeps pushing. Let's step back for a moment. Janelle, Christine, and even Robyn herself have all spoken about how they once believed their polygamy was divinely inspired. They believed it was a spiritual calling, that their family was chosen, that their plural marriage was meant to bring blessings. Robyn, especially, still clings to this conviction that if they don't live polygamy on earth, they'll miss out on eternal blessings in heaven. For her, it's more than preference, it's salvation. She believes she needs to die a polygamist in order to be right with God. But here's the counterpoint. If Robyn ever pressed Kody with an ultimatum, take another wife or I leave, many believe Kody wouldn't give in. He'd walk. Kody himself has admitted that he doesn't value love nearly as much as he values respect. And for him, respect means obedience. If Robyn brought another woman into the mix against his will, that wouldn't feel like respect. That would feel like defiance. And Kody doesn't tolerate disobedience. Mykelti has explained that Kody's love has always come with conditions. If you don't bend to his will, you lose access to his affection. Christine even admitted in her book that the only way to get anything from Kody was to surrender to whatever he wanted, no matter how unreasonable. For Robyn, that means constantly walking on eggshells, catering to Kody's demands, while still trying to manipulate situations to her advantage. She knows the stakes, because when she steps out of line, Kody withdraws. But here's what makes today's situation even trickier. Kody no longer has the leverage he once held. In the past, if a wife didn't submit, he could always run to another wife for validation. Now, with only Robyn left, he doesn't have that fallback. His only real threat is either to cheat, to emotionally check out, or to leave her altogether. And let's be real, Kody isn't likely to leave Robyn unless someone better came along. A younger, flashier, more glamorous replacement. That's the uncomfortable truth. Mykelti even posed the question, what happens when Robyn is no longer the young, desirable diesel jeans model? What happens when she's no longer the trophy wife Kody parades around? Will she still be so enthusiastic about polygamy when the tables turn and she's the one being replaced, just like Mary, Janelle, and Christine before her? Or is this entire dream more of a fantasy that works only as long as Robyn is on top? The tension between them is undeniable. Kody's strategy now seems to be trying to will her into compliance, to reshape her desires until they align with his. And it's believable, because when he ended things with his other wives, he admitted he was tired of holding on to relationships he didn't want, just to keep Robyn satisfied. He openly blamed her for his misery, saying he maintained polygamy against his will because she insisted on it. But now that he's given it all up, Robyn doesn't hold that same power anymore. Her only real leverage would be to say, if you don't give me this, I'll leave you. But the problem is, she's not willing to leave. She's tied to him now. And yet, even as she tells him she can live with monogamy, in her solo interviews, she admits she doesn't know. She's uncertain. She's conflicted. She still isn't ready to let that dream die. Tony has even said he believes Kody might add another wife eventually, not out of desire, but to appease Robyn. But that decision could blow up in both their faces. Kody isn't the type to chase women to the ends of the earth. His world is small, his options limited, and his decisions often rooted in pride rather than love. Unless the perfect candidate appeared, someone younger, stunning, the next model wife, it's hard to imagine Kody actually following through. And here's what we know right now. As of October 1st, 2025, Kody and Robyn are still very much together. They're living in luxury in a massive $2.1 million estate in Flagstaff, over 5,500 square feet, with an additional 2,000 square foot guest house. They're financially comfortable, publicly united, even appearing together during Kody's recent press tour for Special Forces. On the surface, nothing suggests a separation. But that's also why so many fans believe this ongoing new wife storyline is just smoke and mirrors, a made-for-TV drama to keep audiences hooked. Because in reality, the only way Kody can keep Robyn's loyalty is by dangling the possibility of plural marriage, even if he never intends to follow through. It's a form of manipulation. Keep the dream alive just enough so she doesn't leave, even though the truth is he has no interest in reviving polygamy. The irony is that Robyn, once considered the woman with all the power, no longer holds the control she once did. She's stuck. She got the man she wanted, but not the situation she dreamed of. She thought she'd be the queen bee of a plural family, adored and elevated. Instead, she's simply Kody's last wife standing, tied to a man who has walked away from everything she once believed in. And the church she used to lean on? They've rejected Kody, which by extension taints her status too. She's no longer seen as the polished queen of polygamy. She's the woman who stayed with a man the church itself considers a failure. Honestly, I don't see Robyn and Kody lasting forever. What I think will eventually happen is that once the money starts to dry up and her kids are old enough to stand on their own, Robyn may walk away. One of the biggest reasons she hasn't left already to return to a plural marriage is the reality that finding another man with real financial security isn't guaranteed. If she went back into polygamy, chances are she'd be trading in her current lifestyle for one of constant financial struggle, stretching every dollar just to survive, and competing for attention as just another wife. That's not the life she envisioned for herself. With Kody, she became the center of the kingdom, the one in control. Leaving him would mean giving all that up and likely ending up back in poverty, and that's not something she's willing to risk. That's also why Kody constantly showers her with expensive gifts, upgrades, and a luxurious home. He knows that material comfort is what keeps her tied to him, and he uses it as leverage to keep her from walking out. McKelty even pointed out something very blunt. Kody will never find a diamond because he himself isn't one. He's not the kind of man who values his wives, nor does he truly understand love. And as much as he thrives on Robyn's devotion, if she were ever to cross him or defy him, he wouldn't hesitate to cut her off. Now, could Kody and Robyn actually divorce? Absolutely, it's a real possibility. But if that happens, the big question is, what comes next? What happens to their storyline and even to the show? I've even heard whispers that Robyn once seriously considered leaving him but felt trapped because of the kids and her lack of financial independence. There was even talk of a potential spin-off featuring Robyn with the other ex-wives, cutting Kody out entirely. But she never made that leap, likely because she knew she couldn't survive on her own financially without him. At this point, it honestly feels like they're teetering on the edge. Kody's unpredictable, erratic behavior mixed with Robyn's stubbornness is a volatile combination. They're both strong personalities, some would say narcissists, and eventually, narcissists turn on each other. If that happens, it could implode spectacularly. And let's be real, as messy as it sounds, a lot of viewers would be glued to watching that downfall unfold. So what do you think? Do you see Kody and Robyn sticking it out, or are we watching the slow unraveling of their marriage in real time? Share your thoughts in the comments. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you in the next one, besties.
You see, like her dream is to live polygamy still, to have that sister wife.
Which is wild.
And Kody's never going to be able to provide her that dream. So there's always going to be some dissonance between what she wants for her life and what her path is on, that it will never happen. It can't happen where she's at. So she has to let her dream die and settle for what she can have. And what's sad is that, like, I think they have something really cool. Like, I think, you know, it might be cringy, but when they're cute together, like, they obviously like each other. They have strong feelings for each other.
Just be happy.
Yeah, it's just sad that, like, you wouldn't value that so much that, like, you would treasure that and be like, all right, this is great. Like, because he's there and she's like, but I have this dream. And I'm like, I don't know why this is such a dream. I don't understand what's so phantasmal about this. Oh yeah, I have a sister wife who's got my back there, and we all share the husband. Like, I don't get it.
It is actually interesting to me because her parents, she has two moms, like Robyn has two moms, and her two moms don't get along that well. I mean, they probably got along as well as my mom and Robyn did, where occasionally they did for like the good of the family, but at the end of the day, they don't really get along at all.